Welcome to Blown Coverage, the podcast where we break down the schemes, the contracts, and the absolute chaos of the NFL. I'm your host, Ron Du, and today we need to talk about the most disrespected position in professional sports, getting the ultimate revenge. For decades, NFL kickers were treated like the nerds at the football table. They were the guys who walked onto the field, looked like little panic, but a foot to the level, were immediately ignored until the next fourth down. Not anymore. In a matter of weeks, the kicker market just moved. It exploded. We officially entered the era of the $7 million per year specialist. The Dallas Cowboys fired the first shot by locking up Brandon Aubrey, giving him a 4-year, $28 million extension with a record-setting $20 million guaranteed. And when we just thought the Dallas Cowboys had set an untouchable bar, the Pittsburgh Steelers and general manager Omar Khan looked across the league and said, "Hold our Iron City Bear." Pittsburgh completely reset their own books by handing their veteran weapon Chris Boswell an identical 4-year, $28 million deal to tie Aubrey at the absolute top of the food chain. Today we're doing a deep dive into these two record-setting mega deals. We'll look at the data, the pressure, and why these two teams realize in the modern NFL, a truly elite kicker is worth more than gold. Let's go. A few years ago, Aubrey wasn't even thinking about an NFL gridiron. He was a professional soccer player, drafted into the MLS, who eventually found his way to the USFL and tried out the whole kicking football thing. The Cowboys took a flyer on him, and all he did was turn into arguably the most terrifying deep-range weapon in the entire league. When the news broke via ESPN, Adam Schefter, people gasped at the numbers. $7 million annually for a guy who was restricted free agent. But when you pull back the curtain, Jerry Jones knew he couldn't let this guy walk. Let's look at the behind why Aubrey reset the market. Aubrey has a staggering 88.2% career field goal conversion rate. Most coaches start sweating when they have to kick a 53-yard out. Aubrey's effective range essentially starts at midfield, flashing a leg strength to challenge the NFL record for 68 yards. In a high-pressure cooker of AT&T Stadium, he has consistently accounted for nearly a third of the Cowboys' points. Right. Think about the psychological advantage that gives an offensive coordinator. You don't have to pick up a tougher 3rd and 8 at the opponent 40-yard line. You are already in scoring position the second you cross the 50. This is what a record-setting $20 million and guarantees buys you a peace of mind. Now let's fly north to Pittsburgh, because the Steelers did with Chris Boswell is completely different kind of statement. While Aubrey is young, flashy, soccer-style booming leg, the Wizard of Bars is the grizzled, ice-cold veteran who has been carrying the Steelers offense on his back for over a decade. The Steelers extended him through the 2030 season, meaning he will likely retire in the black and gold. Now, some critics immediately pointed to the 2025 season and tried to get loud. Boswell hit 27 of 32 field goals, which was roughly 84.4%, a bit of a down year by his pristine standards. But if you think Omar Khan paid him on a slightly statistical dip, you don't know Pittsburgh football. Here's why Chris Boswell earned every single penny of that $7 million annual average value. Chris Boswell, contract value, $28 million over 4 years, $7 million ABV. Brandon Aubrey, $28 million over 4 years, $7 million ABV. Career field goal percentage, Chris Boswell, 87.7%, ranks among NFL's best. Brandon Aubrey, 88.2 over 3 NFL seasons. postseason streak, 19 consecutive field goals made to start career. Brandon Aubrey, start building a playoff resume. Stadium difficulty, Acrisure Stadium, one of the hardest elements / wins. AT&T Stadium, climate control, dome. Do you see that postseason stat? 19 straight hits when the season is on the line? Yeah. And let's talk about the environment. Brandon Aubrey gets to kick inside a beautiful windless dome in Texas for half the year. Chris Boswell has to face the swirling, unpredictable winds, cold winds of Acrisure Stadium in November and December. Kicking in Pittsburgh is widely considered a nightmare for visiting specialists, yet Boswell treats it like his backyard. Remember, the season opener last year against the Jets, the Steelers were in a dogfight, and Rodgers was breathing down their necks, and Boswell steps up and drills a franchise record 60-yard game-winning field goal. The Steelers' 34-32 victory. Head coach Mike Tomlin said it best after the game. Our kicker is a serial killer. He got a low post rate. When you have an offensive unit that has historically gone through rebuilding phases or struggled to find rhythm in the red zone, having a serial killer with low post rate who can generate 3 points from 60 yards out isn't a luxury. It's a survival mechanism. The kicker market has officially shifted. Prior to this offseason, guys like Kaheem Fairbairn, who were atop the market around $6.5 million, Aubrey and Boswell have shattered that ceiling, and they will set a brand new blueprint. If you are an NFL franchise with a championship window, you can no longer afford to treat the kicker position as an afterthought. Teams are realizing that games are won and lost on the margins. When a playoff spot or a Super Bowl berth comes down to literally a split-second swing of the leg, paying $7 million a year to ensure you have the best guy on the planet isn't crazy. It's just smart business. Brandon Aubrey bought the thunder. Chris Boswell bought the ice. Both got the leg, and both got the bag, and both completely rewrote the rules of the NFL salary caps. This is going to do it for this deep dive on Blown Coverage. What do you think? Did the Steelers and Cowboys overpay, or did they just secure the most important piece of their roster? Let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend who still thinks kickers aren't real football players. We'll see you on the next week and on the next one. And remember, hit that hype button.